okay.
Is this okay? अरे बाबा ये तो बहुत टाइट है. Is this okay?
हाँ ठीक.
Going back to the state when the war was over between Pandavas and Kauravas, we all know the story because they were on the side of irreligion. Kauravas, they were all butchered mercilessly. We all know this story. So having lost all their children, relatives, Dhritarashtra was completely, he was, how do you say, he had become orphan. Yes? We all know this story. Yes or no? So this particular story starts from that particular point. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवताम की जय. ओम अज्ञानातिमरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितमेन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः. नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने. नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So he had lost everything. He had lost his crown, Dhritarashtra. Is it okay? Upside down. So he had lost his kingdom, as I told, his children, everybody. So he's completely clueless, doesn't know what to do, but still he moved on. Pandavas, being very pious, extremely pious, they took care of him very gently, very respectfully, even though he was supposed to be one of the root cause of this entire catastrophe, right? Vidura was an extremely intelligent person, though born in a so-called Shudra family, very sharp, extremely intelligent. Mahatma, he was known as Mahatma, very, very learned personality. Looking at Dhritarashtra, he felt very sad. He felt very sad. He really wanted to give him some daya, mercy. So he started talking to his brother, saying that, I really pity your situation. Shall I tell you, my dear brother? You see the dog in the street? His situation is better than your situation. So harsha, but he wanted to give mercy through these harsh statements actually. Generally, mercy comes like that. Why he says that? Because you destroyed their family, so much catastrophe. Still, even after that, how are you breathing with them actually? Though they take care of you very well. This is not a ideal place for you. I think you should have some shame, yaar. Thoda to sharam karo. You should have some shame. You should get out from this place as soon as possible. These were the words actually. When he heard, he felt little, Are Baba, I have to leave this palace. Though nobody is there, I was brought up here. But still, they say, no, there will be some shame, some corner in the heart for anybody. Like he thought, maybe he is telling something sense. Let me hear what he says. In order to enliven, in order to give thoda sadbuddhi to his brother, he told one beautiful story. I thought I'll share the same story so that, it enlivens all of us. Okay? Many of you might have heard, right? The story of a Brahmana. Okay, the story Vidura tells to his brother. One morning, a Brahmana, a very pious Brahmana, he woke up as usual. And when he woke up, when he opened his eyes, he was not in his house, he was in the middle of a desert. Imagine, let's say tomorrow morning we'll get up, instead of in maybe Sivaram Nagar or Kagadaspura or what is that, Indra Nagar, if we were in some Thar desert or Shara desert, how it will be actually? How it will be? Shock, right? It's a shock. It's a big shock. Arey Baba, what's happening? I'm in a desert. Oh my God. Okay, then when you are in a desert, it won't be a very palatable situation because it's very hot and you cannot stand on the sand, So he felt little uncomfortable and he's running. Arey Baba, if you go to hot places, for example, let's take Vrindavan or Mayapur during summer, or Jagannath Puri. My God, I had gone during July in Jagannath Puri. Oh, Krishna. Oof. It's like that. So, but imagine desert. So he was feeling, like very uncomfortable. He was trying to move. He's running. Then naturally, what we anticipate when we are in a desert, when we are running, what? What is the first thing we anticipate? Thoda pani. Thoda pani. And if there is some tree, अच्छा रहेगा. A tree के ऊपर थोड़ा fruits, if there are there, वो भी अच्छा रहेगा. This was, he was just running. This Brahmana. Then, at a very distant place, he could see some trees, it seems. He could see some trees. If the trees are there, naturally there should be some water below. Yes or no? So he thought, if I go there, that will be very wonderful. Because he was in the middle of a desert. Naturally, that will be a better situation. Yes or no? So he was very happy. He started running towards that place. But that place was not a, they say, mirage. It was not a mirage, it was an actual thing. He just went near that particular place. When he went towards that place, he saw that there was a huge wall. We say gated community, right? It's a very popular word, gated community. Like in this particular place, pura wall hai, there are no gates actually. It's a closed gate community. It's not a gate. There is no gate. Completely surrounded by thick wall. But you could see there lot of green trees, birds, fruits you could see. But it's very hot here. Somehow I should get in. There is no gate. But I don't care because I need water. I need some fruit. I need to somehow maintain myself. I need to somehow reach there. This was the situation. Somehow he struggled, climbed up the wall. Somehow, don't ask me the details. Somehow he jumped onto other side. Oh Bapre. Then he came under the shade of the tree. He felt very happy. Oh, bach gaye. How nice it is actually. So nice, the shade of a tree. And upar he saw, Arey Baba, fully matured, ripened fruits. And something like that, some parrots. He was feeling very nice. Thoda breeze aisa aa raha. It's like, he felt very nice. But you might have heard this sloka from Bhagavatam, Jivo Jivasya Jivanam. Yes or no? Some living entity has to subside, has to engulf some other living entity. That's how this world works actually. So when he was sitting like that for some time, he could observe some wild animals, it seems, ready to attack the tender body of this Brahmana. We say, Mahaprasadi, Govindi, like that. It was also telling, Arey Baba, tender. They say, tender chicken. Very famous, right? KFC, tender chicken. The body was very tender. So it was also saying, somehow if I take that, mera din ban gaya. Today, it's really done something. So naturally, it is their area, yeah. It's animals, it's their forest means it's their area actually. It's their natural, yes. So naturally, it was coming in a very fierce way, chasing him. And what this person, he just took a rest for about few minutes. Chalo, started jogging again. Are Baba, animals are behind me. He's running. So he went for about maybe for some distance, and when he went for certain distance, immediately he just put a halt towards his run. Bhagavatam says he could see a she-demoness, it seems, who was ugly, very angry, fierce, the teeth and all, like this, it was very, she's also waiting basically to engulf somebody. And look at the situation of a person. He was in the desert. He thought, when I climb inside, I'll be okay. Now, wild animals, he's running, and when he comes towards, some place at a certain distance, he could see she-demoness. What should be the situation if we were in that situation? It's not so good, right? It's not so good. And fortunately, what happened to him, generally in the forest, what happens, the hunters, to trap very wild animals, they will make certain, trapping thing, they will cover the grass in a huge pit. When you see from before, from a distance, it looks as if it is green, but it is not. Like if you just see the sky, and if you just put your leg there, you will go inside. And it's not like that. They have certain trap, basically, which somehow binds the legs, and ulta, it will hang it up. This was the technique hunters they do. Whenever a wild animals like bear or something goes, it will go down, then it will somehow trap the legs, and then he will be upside down. Head will be down and legs will be tied like that. So unfortunately, because he was caught in between, there is a she-demoness and there are wild animals chasing. Somehow he fell down, he was caught, and is upside down now. Is hanging upside down like this. I'm bolenge na, Jula. Like that. He was in that situation. Then slowly he opened his eyes, it seems. Am I about to be engulfed by the she-demoness or the wild animals? But he saw, Are Baba, what's happening? I am upside down, and I could see the she-demoness there and the wild animals here. Are bach gaye. What a situation. He felt very happy, it seems. Upside down. Why? Because he was saved, from imminent danger. Yes or no? He was saved, and that was the situation. He felt very happy. Very nice, very nice. Then he just saw, just right below, there was a well which was not filled with water. It was a dry well, it seems. Just directly below. That was the situation, and he was hanging around. And in that dry well, it's not that, there were some nice things. There were poisonous snakes going around. That was the situation. Bhagavatam says this story for all of us. We should understand this. If you understand that, very good, wonderful. We have understood the scriptures. So, he was in such a situation. And he did not know what to do. So he somehow sustained in that situation for some time. And there was a rope, which tied his leg, and he was upside down. Naturally, like some other things will be food stuff for some living entities. There were small rats, it seems, black and white rats. They love eating ropes. बहुत अच्छा लगता है गुलाब जामुन रसगुल्ला की तरह. They love eating ropes. They just started coming on the rope, and it was nibbling the rope, it seems, like it was eating. When you eat the rope, what will happen, Mataji? लूज हो जाएगा और दिस पर्सन इज becomes a victim to the snakes, dry well, she demoness or whichever it is. Yes or no? That was his situation. And like he is hanging and the rats started their work and he was like this. How will be the situation? कैसा लगेगा? प्रभु आप बोलिए. Yeah. How such a situation will be? Huh? Very tough. Very tough. You can't even imagine, even in our dream. Yes or no? Forget about reality. Even dream, we cannot conceive such a situation. Correct? That was the situation. Look at the way this world works. Maya Devi ki, she works wonderfully. Look at the way the Bhagavatam describes in such a situation also. You know the situation, right? And he's doing like this, and there was some sweet smile in his face, it seems. Can you imagine? Bhagavatam says, in that miserable situation, Brahmana was smiling, it seems. You know why? Above him, on the tree, there were beehives, honeybees ka, that place. And there were some honey, which was in a matured state. It started dripping, and this fellow and he was enjoying that honey, and he felt, Arey Baba, very nice. And he was feeling very happy, just like we come across, no? There was one devotee was mentioning Vande Madhav Prabhu, like one person, he'll be lying down in the hospital, correct? And his legs are up like this with full bandage. Somebody comes and asks, how are you? He will say, nice dude. Chill, he will say. And his legs are like this. Generally they say like that. He is also feeling, he is completely in a precarious situation, but he is smiling. If somebody had asked, how are you, would have told, yeah, Arey Baba, very nice, yeah, very nice. That is the situation. So he thought he got his Amrita, and he was momentarily, he is enjoying. Bhagavatam says, this is exactly the situation of the jiva in this material world. Who are the jivas? Not me, huh? Who are the jivas? Bhagavatam says this is the position of the jiva in this material world. Who are those jivas? We. This story is for us, not for somebody. No, it is for us. It's for all of us. Bhagavatam says this is the position of a living entity in this world. And this gentleman person, he repeats such a state of affairs life after life, it seems. He works very hard. Time nahi hai bhai. Time nahi hai mere paas. Appointment le lo. Very busy, yeah? Very busy. Works 14 to 16 hours. Normal hai na aajkal. 12 hours to, just 12 hours is nothing. Yes or no, Mataji? Hai na? 14 hours, 16 hours, they work very hard to have nice palatable food stuff, to stay in a very nice apartment. Nobody is telling don't take nice food stuff. Nobody is telling don't stay in a nice apartment. Nobody is telling don't have a good job. Nobody is telling don't be economically strong. No, there were so many Raja Rishis, they were champions. They were so much devotees like Raghunath Das Goswami, Purandar Das, they were all millionaires, crorpatis in their times. Nobody is challenging that situation. You should understand the essence of this particular story. Very cool, with a cool mind and with a lot of gravity. And generally this living entity looks for such comfortable life, life after life. Here, Bhagavatam gives some more information. What does these wild animals were referred to? It referred to suffer giverers in this world. Wild animals, they were chasing this Brahmana. Yes or no? First part of the episode. And it's referred to the suffer giverers in this material world. Who are the suffer giverers in this world? अरे बाबा हमारा मैनेजर है पहले है ना हाँ then who are the suffer or the trouble givers trouble givers who others हर जगह होता है अच्छा पूरा दिन यही चलते रहता है कितना सच बोलते हैं माता जी हरि बोल बोलिए who are others yeah trouble givers managers relatives आजकल मेड्स भी और मस्किटोस यस और नो मस्किटोस काफ़ी है smallest of the smallest microbe it completely brought on this modern civilization to its knees COVID है ना virus that is enough smallest of the smallest anor I am the smallest of the smallest yes or no पूरा हिला दिया मॉडर्न सिविलाइजेशन को so suffer or the trouble givers we need not discuss in elaborate we know right wild animals were compared to them and who was this she demoness they say rakshasi right who was that who was waiting to grab him it refers to the old age Bhagavatam says this is the old age why it is referred to old age what is the reason somebody can tell she demoness is referred to the old age
You don't have that much strength. The age is going. Physically also you will be weak and
yes
mentally also it is
yes physically and mentally we will be weak old age means certainly we are reaching our near situation in our life the evening of our life yes or no so you should be very careful sorry what is that
the angle is like this कि wild animals से at least the person was able to fight at least able to do something running around
at least from wild animals you can escape but how do you escape from the near death actually right that is there old age there's one thing in Ramayana Prabhu I think you might be knowing Dasharatha is a Raja Rishi right Lord Rama's father he was very brave king he's very righteous and every day when a king decorates before going to the assembly naturally there will be big mirrors they will decorate and they will go one day as usual Maharaja Dasharatha was in front of the mirror it seems he was shocked when he saw himself there was one white hair coming out of his head he was shocked it seems Arey baba ye kya ho raha hai hey it's a grey hair but he was very intelligent then he thought I'm becoming old I should be very careful now is this the time that I should spend maybe some healthy time towards the administration and more time towards something else no he was very interrogative in that way so that is how it acts who likes grey hairs here tell me who likes hair nobody likes hair but it comes what to do that's how it is that's how it is so when this refers to demonos means old age when old age means we should be very careful actually indication is like the white hairs so we should be very careful and the snakes were there in the well no Bhagavatam says that refers to the death but at least old age thoda सांस लेने के लिए थोड़ा time है but here snake death. It's sure final thing that happens in one's life. We like it or not. Most scaring fact in our life actually. So it refers to the snake. So he is in the midst of all these things. You know what is this black and white rats? It refers to the day and night. That means every day we say, no, hi man, how are you? Good morning, we say, no. So it's an indication that if somebody comes and says good morning, you say that one day is gone. Correct? Somebody says good morning, you should say thank you very much. That means one day is gone. I should be more focused towards something else also, along with my normal social activities and my other occupation. Yes or no? It refers to the day and night. When you see a sunset, we are very fond of seeing sunset. No, अरे बाबा देख लो कन्याकुमारी में sunset बहुत अच्छा है. Yes, very wonderful. Yes, very wonderful. But हमारा भी एक दिन gone. It's gone from the quota. Yes or no? We should be very careful. We should be very careful and very clear about the concepts which Bhagavatam mentions. Where in a very clear, intelligent mind, we should understand this in a very subtle way. So that is how it says. But again, same situation. Unfortunately, if he doesn't go deep into the scriptures, if that living entity do not associate with proper people, do not follow proper regulative practices, again and again he will be in the same situation, it seems. Same situations, maybe in a different life, different place, etc. Right? This is the sweetness of illusion, it seems. Maya. And the conclusion given from the acharyas is, instead of hankering for this so-called nectar, why not we hanker for the real nectar? Prahlad Maharaj says in his teachings, beautifully summarized after when he saw Narsingadev, then like he gives his wonderful prayers to the Lord. And then after giving the prayers, he concludes very many beautiful things, because he's a glorious Mahajana, not ordinary. He's a glorious, one of the 12 Mahajanas. He gives many conclusions. In that he says, Thatala Saikate Varibindu Sama Sutha Mitha Ramani Samaje. My Lord, in this world, Varibindu Sama, that means in this world, the people completely invest their life, energy towards Sutha, Mitha, Ramani Samaje. Sutha means son, Mitha friends, and lover. All life is invested for that. Pura investment. We say no investment. Pura amara life invested in this. And what is the output? Vari bindu sama, one drop of an ocean. The happiness they get by investing their entire life, what is the output is one drop of ocean. But what he is trying to say on the other hand, thoda, if we use our intelligence and look at where did this particular drop of ocean came from, that has come from the ocean. That ocean is Vasudeva. If we focus there, how much bliss we may get. That is what he is summarizing, Prahlad Maharaj. That is what he is summarizing. And that's what he had said in the same way. Instead of focusing on this temporary, this thing, in the social life also, in the midst, if you can focus to something else, as our Acharya Sri Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada so rightly, vividly he writes, if you can focus how blissful, ek drop ke liye pura life investment, if somebody is going to give you the whole ocean, don't you think it's intelligence, Mataji? Hai na? Let's look at the ocean only. We can be satisfied in our social life also, and we'll get something else also. Yes or no? That is the nice thing which Srila Prabhupada told. Nirbandhe Krishna Sambandhe Yukta Vairagyam Uchate. You be in your situation, sir. Nobody is trying to alter your situation. Remain in your situation. Take bhakti as your outfit, apart from other things. And you can drink the entire ocean. It is at your disposal. Take the advantage in the human life. Yes or no? Because only in human life we can discuss about this. In fact, we see very many varieties of living entities in this world. है ना? Correct? Varieties of living entities. Are human, in the human category itself, there are 4 lakh species, different varieties, based on the mixture of modes of nature. 4 lakh varieties. So many varieties. Yes or no? What I am trying to emphasize here is only when we acquire this human body, one can intelligently go deep into the inner aspects of scriptural science. Not in any other body. Not in any other body. Human body means it should be kept for austerity. Tapasa brahmacharyana. Correct? Human body means it should be kept for austerity. Are Baba, what about my work? My family? My wife? My property? Are who said you to renounce that? Keep it. Add bhakti also as one of the strong force, as a strong outfit in your life. Yes or no? That is the essence of this story. How many more minutes we have? Another 20 minutes, Bandhamada Prabhu? 6:15. Okay. I thought I'll just go thoda little more deep, maybe in the next 20 minutes, little more deeper. It's a story, it's a pastime, similarly connected in other part of Bhagavatam, especially when the dialogue happened between Jada Bharat and Rahugana. You have heard this story, right? King Rahugana and Jada Bharat? You have not heard? You would have heard, right? It's a beautiful story. I don't want to go in detail. I have just put out certain summary so that we understand the summary aspects. Right? Just like the Brahmana who was somehow landed in the desert, like that, we heard the whole episode. Bhagavatam says, there's a Vahanik community, the mercantile family. Generally, they look for profit. That's how it is. And it's not wrong. They look for profit. Business, why do they do business? To make profit. Yes or no? So, they also look for a profit. And generally, they go deep into the forest to get some cheap commodities, maybe earth or maybe cheap wood, so that they can pull it from the forest, go back to the city, and 3-4 times they can they can sell it off and make profit, right? This is how it is. So this person similarly, like we heard this particular example, he also enters the forest, and he could see and this particular gentleman, he could get whatever he has paid for, but still something, greed, they say. What is greed, Mataji? How do we define greed? More and more. We don't get satisfied with whatever we have. More than required. Right? That is greed. And he thought, so much profit I am making. If I get in more deeper into the forest, Baba, ekdam crorepati banega. He thought, he just goes inside like that. But what is happening here, when he gets into the forest like this, it's nice that, you could see various trees, precious trees, fruits, all such things, earth, varieties, all such things already could sell off. But what has happened is, the crux we should understand, somehow he lost from where I came actually. Because it's so wild. Just imagine our Udupi mein, what is that? Malnad, and this we call it as Western Ghats, right? Just imagine if we are just we're paradropped, like from to that place, how we will feel actually. So bad, it's so huge. So like this person was completely lost. He was lost. He didn't know from where I came, but somehow he was just deep into the forest. So naturally, when he went to that forest, he got used to it actually. That's how the laws of nature works. He got used to that particular forest. Somehow he was happy with the trees, the fruits, many rich things that we get in the forest. He was happy and he stood there. Completely spent his life there. But here, if you dig deep, you could see the actual situation he undergoes in that particular forest. When we are in the forest, we come across, we say, what do you say? What is that? Looters. What is the technical word used for them in the forest? Plunderers. क्या बोलते हैं? हाँ? Bandicoots, something like that. What is that? Rabindra Nitai Prabhu? Dacoits. So there will be a lot of looters in the forest, it seems. Correct? So he cannot stay so peacefully. Very nice. It's so rich. A lot of minerals, a lot of fruits, trees. It's very nice. But there will be looters and plunderers also, it seems. Bhagavatam says he cannot stay so easily. This refers to this example. This refers to the example of a Brahmana also. But somehow the situation is the same. Both were trapped in the same forest. The forest of material world. And when you are in the forest, there are many looters. Who are these looters? Our own 6 senses are referred to the looters, it seems. You know this? Not somebody else's senses. It is our own senses. 5 Panchendriya plus the mind. 6. They are enough to loot us, it seems. Nobody is the troublemaker for us, sir. It's our own senses and the mind which are the first enemy actually. If you don't keep them under control, they are the biggest enemy. We cannot blame others. She did like that, he did like that, because of the dam. Are Baba chodo. It's because of your own senses and the mind. We should learn to control or subjugate the senses and the mind. If not, it become like bandits. It will become like dacoits. It will simply loot. How does it loot? Very nicely Prabhupada writes. Because if you don't properly utilize these 5 senses, they unnecessarily spend their money towards seeing, smelling, tasting, touching, hearing, desiring, willing. Pura investment, whatever they earn, they'll invest in these things. Once they invest in these things, naturally what happens? You are destroying, that person is destroying himself through the aid of his own senses. That's what Bhagavatam is saying. Somehow you should have used your senses in a much better way. Not in this normal things like animal does. You should have used this in some other way. Varna, that itself will become like a dacoits. They plunder you actually. They'll misguide you. That is what is happening to this great Bharata Bhumi today. Still, very fortunate, some of them still try to preserve this Samskriti, but by and large, it has got messed up because we copied some other so-called useless practices. Misusing the senses. That's what is told. If you don't properly utilize what Srila Prabhupada says, every senses should be properly utilized in the service of the master of the senses, Rishikesha. Yes or no? Correct? Nobody is telling don't eat. Nobody is telling don't look, don't smell it, or don't hear, or don't touch. No, it's not like that. Everything is allowed as far as you have a body. To properly utilize keeping Krishna in the center, keeping Rishikesha in the center. Varna, we will get into a lot of problems. That is exactly that has happened to the today's so-called modern civilization. And Prabhupada said it's a failed civilization. Nobody is happy here. Most of them are suffering. Most of them are suffering. What is the use of such a civilization? Prabhupada says, forget it, yeah. Forget about peace and prosperity. Forget that somebody takes care of you. It's a dream, basically. It's a dream. Only when there is a Raja Rishi, only when there is somebody who is fixed in the principles of devotional science, he can take care of very well, actually. But I've seen how our India has transformed in the last few years, because few Raja Rishis are taking charge of this country. Yes or no? Just see the transformation. One Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada took this message to this whole world. Not many is needed here. One son is enough. Ravi, Surya, one sun is enough, like Prabhupada. One moon is enough. Few great personalities are enough. It will change the face of the world. Yes or no? So, it is not properly utilized. So, it will loot us. So, we should be very careful. We should be very careful, because our own senses will trample us. There are so many things like this. I don't know what I can cover. Sometimes this person aspires to have a house in the sky, it seems. Gandharvapura. How nice if we have a very well furnished apartments on the sky. Right? He aspires. He chases after the objects of the senses just as a deer chases a mirage in the desert. These are the words from the Bhagavatam. Sometimes he will be interested in yellow stool known as gold. He'll be aspiring to acquire more and more yellow stool. Gold is refers to yellow stool, mala, in Bhagavatam. He wants to acquire that more and more. But unfortunately, he forgets that itself will become the source of misery and envy actually. Gold is said to be the source of misery and envy. Bhagavatam says this. Because when you have more gold, it will allow him to, gratify his senses. He can indulge in illicit affairs. He can indulge in countless killing of animals and engulfing that, and many other things, because it will give him some opportunity. And it is also told that sometimes his eyes would be blinded by the dust of the whirlwind. You know how nicely Bhagavatam says. Sometimes his eyes will be blinded by the dust of a whirlwind. They say, there will be a lot of wind and all. What is that refers to? He will be attracted towards the opposite sex, which is known as pramada, and he will be blindfolded. Nobody is telling that he should not get married, but this is referred to something outside the purview of Vedic injunctions. That we should understand. Hope I am clear. Sometimes he will be very aggrieved, it seems, because his friends, relatives, sometimes governmental servants, they chastise him, through very harsh words, and he will feel very saddened. He'll be very saddened, why is this happening to me? There are many things like that. What I am trying to say, Bhagavatam is telling that person somehow got into the forest, but here he is not kept so cool actually. There are very many things that is actually giving trauma to him actually, every time. That's what I'm trying to, pull out as much as possible. Sometimes he feels so distressed, he takes shelter of an atheist, it seems. Atheist means Nastik, He takes shelter of an atheist. He himself is a, like a blindfolded person. What direction he can give? But he still aspires to receive cheap blessing from an atheist, it seems, which is not going to work. And sometimes, the suffering will be so high, he somehow wants to mitigate his suffering. He somehow approaches some sadhus and swamis, but those swamis and sadhus do not strictly follow the injunctions of the scriptures. What is the use of it? He makes some attempt. Arey Baba, I am caught in the forest. I have lost my path. I don't know from where I came. Sometimes, chalo, I will go to Nastik. Still, the burning sensation is there in the heart and the mind. Chalo, I will go to some Swami who turned out to be a pseudo Swami, who do not follow, who do not know the real purport of the scriptures. What sort of a shelter you can aspire from them? This is what Bhagavatam says. These are all the things that person who is got caught in the wilderness of the forest thinks. And sometimes if he cannot maintain properly himself, he tries to exploit his father, it seems. Sometimes he may exploit his own son and family and relatives, because it's becoming very hard for me to maintain myself. So these are all the things which Bhagavatam is mentioning. And it also says, in this world, family life is exactly like a blazing fire in the forest. Don't feel disheartened. There is a solution also. Don't feel disheartened. I am also a family man. Yeah? There is a solution which I am going to tell that. I see that it says in Bhagavatam, in this world, family life is exactly like a blazing fire in the forest. There is not the least of happiness that prevails here. Arey Baba, what to do next? Where did I come? Where did I come? Mataji? Umid hai? There is some hope here?
There is the hope here by just taking shelter of God. By
Hari Hari. So, gradually one becomes more and more implicated in unhappiness. Conditioned soul is burned by the fire of lamentation. He condemns himself as being very unfortunate that he suffers because he might have performed no pious activities in his previous life. He thinks like this, it seems. In the middle of the forest, that person who has lost the path, he thinks like this, it seems. So, don't you think this story is more or less, it's like हमारा story के लिए थोड़ा आसपास है ना? See how nice Bhagavatam is. That's why this is known as King of all the scriptures. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. The best of all literature. See how beautifully it says. And sometimes he feels, it seems, he has lost his father, he has lost his grandfather, and when he gets a son, he feels, it seems, Arey dekho, he resembles my father. He resembles my grandfather. In that way, he sometimes takes pleasure in such mental concoction, it seems. Bhagavatam. And many times, when he is in the middle of the forest, he is supposed to execute certain, yagnas, like it may be Vivaha Yagna, or it may be any other fruitive activities. But what Bhagavatam is telling is, these are all the duties of a grihastha, but they are very extensive and troublesome to execute. Yes or no? Imagine building a house. Imagine to get somebody married. Asan hai Mataji? Arey Baba, mat pucho. This is what Bhagavatam is telling. And this is referred to, it is compared to a big hill over which one must cross. And he feels pains like the piercing of thorns and pebbles. Bhagavatam. And sometimes, like when he is in a forest, I told there are naturally there will be a lot of snakes and there will be pythons also, yeah. Not the software I am talking, the real python. Okay? Python, and he will be bitten by the python, it seems. He will be bitten by the python. It is referred to the darkness of ignorance. He's ignorant now. Who am I? Why the hell I came to this particular forest? Somehow I lost my path here. I lost. So he even do not inquire about this. Such a person's state of mind is said to be in the mode of ignorance or the darkness of ignorance. It's referred to the python. That is his state. And sometimes, through the tricks of enemy, the conditioned souls falls from his prestigious position, it seems. Because there will be a lot of enemies here. I don't think, this world is very nice, this forest is so nice. Everybody wants to pull your leg. So, it's told here, when the enemy pulls like that, he falls from his prestigious position and again he will become more unhappy. In the midst of this calamity, sometimes he also feels, it seems, Arey Baba chodo, I am married, that's okay. But unfortunately, sometimes he looks at some other women also, so that he can have illicit affairs. He thinks that will make him very happy, but Bhagavatam says that will add fuel for his misery. He will suffer more and more. Anybody who thinks, by extra, marital affairs, I will be very happy, is an illusionist, number one. Is in illusion. It will add for his misery. Bhagavatam records it here. He thinks like this. See the journey how Bhagavatam takes. He is caught in the forest. He keeps on thinking like this, it seems. If I do this, I will be very happy. Learned scholars and transcendentalists therefore condemns the materialistic path of fruitive activity, because it's the original source and breeding ground of material miseries, both in this life and in the next. Arey Baba, what to do? Sometimes he steals or he cheats other person so that he can have his possession. And sometimes smartly he escapes punishment also. And whatever the money he has accumulated, somebody else comes and cheats, it seems. So what is the summary this Bhagavatam is telling is, in that way money keeps on floating from one hand to another, and money never remains in one hand, but it remains always the property of Narayana. Bhagavatam is saying this. So many things like this. And sometimes, like a monkey, it jumps from one tree to another, it seems. The conditioned soul jumps from one body to another. As the monkey is ultimately captured by the hunter and is unable to get out of its captivity, the soul being captivated by momentary sex pleasure, he becomes attached to different types of bodies and is encaged life after life. This is what is the miserable situation of a living entity in this world. And what Bhagavatam is trying to conclude with all these stories, the thought process of this person lost in the forest, what it is trying to say is, in this material world, when the conditioned soul in such a situation forgets his relationship with the Lord, he naturally do not care for bhakti. He simply engages in different types of mischievous and sinful activities. Let's try to understand this. Many says, I don't care for this bhakti, or this Navavida Bhakti Marga, or this Sanatana Dharma, Bhagavata Dharma, or Krishna Prajna, like Srila Prabhupada always used to say. They may say no. And what does they do basically? If there is no bhakti, what Bhagavatam is telling, they will certainly involve in varieties of mischievous and sinful activities only. Sinful activities means certainly there will be sinful reactions. That we should understand. You may care, I don't care to the law of nature. Who cares if you say? Whether I care or not, sun will come out tomorrow morning. It will go up, it will go down in the evening. Bus. Right? The last paragraph I want to read, which acts as a solution. Arey Baba, ye kya itna, bahut bol diya. Forest hai, ye hai, wo hai. What is the solution? Yes, I am reading the solution part now. This path of the material world is full of material miseries. We should accept this. If you accept this, if you accept the problem statement, problem definition, this is the problem. If we accept, then certainly we can look for the solution. If you say, Arey Baba, chodo yaar, koi aake bola Bhagavatam class mein, Gandharvika Giridhari ki jai. Then what can we do? What can we do? Understand the problem first. Digest it. Arey Baba, this problem exists. Let's say there is a wound in the hand or a leg. You should accept it's a problem है. अरे छोड़ो यार, भूल जाओ, सब ठीक हो जाएगा. क्या भूल जाएगा? सब ठीक हो जाएगा. सब ठीक को निकाल दो. That is the solution. Accept the problem. So it says the path of this material world is full of material miseries, and various troubles disturb the conditioned souls. Sometimes he loses and sometimes he gains. And in either case, the path is full of danger. Path is full of danger. Many times he is illusioned, he is put in a scary situation. And because of this situation, sometimes he loudly cries, it seems. Are baba, ye kya ho gaye? Bhagavatam says. And sometimes he happily maintains his family, it seems. And sometimes he becomes overjoyed and sings melodiously, it seems. Bhagavatam says. Sab hai. Now, there is a chance for him to sing melodiously, and there is sometimes, there is a chance for him to cry loudly also. Such lag rahe Bhagavatam ka statements. Hai na? It's more or less related to our life. In this way, he becomes entangled and forgets his separation from the Supreme Lord since time immemorial. Because he was caught in the middle of this forest with various things and situation and trauma. Are Baba, where is the chance for that person to think about his relation with the Lord? Because he has lost his path, right? He has lost his path also from where I came. He is completely lost. And he has lost that relation with the Lord also. Thus, he traverses the dangerous path of material existence. And on this path, he is not at all happy. Those who are self-realized simply take shelter of the Lord in order to get out of this dangerous material existence. Without accepting the devotional path, one cannot get out of the clutches of material existence. The conclusion is that no one can be happy in this material life. One must take to Bhakti Yoga. That is why time and again acharyas, gurus, spiritual masters, out of mercy to this useless, hopeless people who are caught in the middle of the forest, they come, they say, Are Baba, bas ho gayi yaar, bas ho gayi. Abhi utho, enough, get up. Let's go out of the forest, follow me. Spiritual master gives us that way to get out of this forest. And they will take out. And this is exactly we as human beings are supposed to do. Material world is referred to Durga. Durga means? Durga means jail. Durga means jail. Central jail, Agrahara jail, Pune Yarwada jail, है ना? Tihar jail. देखो इधर. Durga means jail. This world is known as Durga. है ना? Durga means jail. We should try to get out of this jail. Can there be joyful moment in the jail, Mataji? Which is the most popular jail in India, yeah? Tihar jail. पूछो मत, है ना? Very nice facility. समझो 6 महीने जाके आ जाओ. How do you feel? है ना? We don't feel nice, है ना? Even though there is some very nice facility, let's say TV है, fridge है, थोड़ा मसाज करने के लिए थोड़ा servants है, लेकिन 6 महीने वहाँ रहना. No, we don't like it actually. Every intelligent man tries to get out of the jail. Yes or no? Similarly, an intelligent man in this world should understand, I am in this Durga. That's why we say Durga Devi. She is the superintendent of this world. She is the boss of this world. Durga Devi. This is a Durga. This is a jail. We should try to get out. We should take the help of spiritual master, acharyas and Bhagavatam to get out of this jail. Get out of this forest. Enough. Get out of this forest with the help of Bhagavatam. And that is actually the crux or the summum bonum of our Sanatana Dharma or Bhagavata Dharma or Krishna Prajna, as Srila Prabhupada says. You take the head of Bhagavatam, take the shelter of sadhus, acharyas, guru and the Lord, Narayana, Vasudeva, and get out here. Enough, I have taken enough of this world. I have taken enough lashes. I have to go out. Again, you may say, Are Baba, then what should happen to my job, my wife, occupation, property? Keep it here, keep it with you. And then try to go back. That becomes the actual objective of human life. Nate vidu swarthagatemi Vishnu, right? Main objective of a human life is to realize Vishnu. Get out of this jail, get out of this forest. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Any questions, any comments? Any questions, any comments? Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
How do we remember God every time, Lord Krishna, every time when we are working, like in a job, not in the kitchen, that we can sing and remember them. But when we are in a job, how can we remember Lord Krishna every time?
What's your name? Sheetal. You were part of the orientation, but you were, yeah, I think you are familiar. Sheetal, hai na? Sheetal Mataji. Hari Hari. Nice to see you. Question is, it's okay when I'm cooking, ghar mein, I can put some bhajan, I can hear the class and all. But when I'm working, what should I do? How can I remember him always? Huh? What is the answer? Who wants to answer this? Somebody? How do we do that? How many knows Kannada here? How many can understand Kannada here? Purandar Das from Udupi. You know Udupi? Udupi? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted this lineage, the Udupi lineage, Madhva lineage. He told, my dear Madhvacharya, I am going to appear in your parampara. That's how we are connected. The Bengal Gaudiya and the Udupi is connected through Sri Pada Madhavendra Puri. Vyasa Tirtha's disciple is Lakshmipati Tirtha. Lakshmipati Tirtha's disciple is Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri, Ishwara Puri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the parampara down the line. This is the connect. And that Purandar Das says, Matu Matige Hariyanna Beku. And everything that we do, in our life, we should somehow develop the habit of bringing the name of Hari on the lips, it seems. Hari, 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 Hari. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, apart from Harinam, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he loves to tell these two beautiful names, transcendental names, Hari, 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 Hari. We should somehow keep on telling this name, Matu Matige Hariyanna Beku. We should make it as a practice so that Harinam should be always there in your lips. And famous example, there is many things it has, like why Prabhupada gives this example. He could have given some other example. Are Baba, Acharya gives means just take it. R&D karne ka zarurat nahi hai. He gives the example, story of a paramar. Correct? Story of a paramar. That's the one I can give because I cannot give any other thing apart from what Srila Prabhupada has given. What is the story of a paramar? You know the story of a paramar? There is a lady in the house and she used to love one person. And what happens when she is in such a situation, दिमाग में पूरा वो आदमी है ना? And she is making chapatis, sabji cutting, offering. कुछ भी करो वो चल रहा है लेकिन दिमाग में आदमी है. Prabhupada says you should be like that. Somebody goes and ask will that lady, how many times you remember him? Morning, afternoon, evening. Are Baba छोड़ा पूरा दिन सोचते रहे. They say no, they are madly in love. Whether it is love or lust, that is different. But at least Prabhupada gives his example, story of a paramar. Your thought process, your love should be submerged in this great personality known as Krishna. Similar, like that. Whatever you do, in the family, with the children, work, when you're walking, anything, you are completely loving this great personality known as Krishna. That is how we should develop. And we should somehow develop this habit of bringing the Harinam every time. Just like Mahaprabhu used to say, Hari, Hari. Hari, Hari. He used to love, telling this. We should somehow bring that. Make it as an outfit. Make it as a practice. Because Antakale Narayana Smritihi. We don't know when that time comes. And when the time comes, when you say Narayana, Hari, Krishna, Hari Bol, Chalo forest se bahar, Durga se bahar, jail se bahar. Yes or no, Mataji?
काम भी और ज़्यादा इजी हो जाता है, क्योंकि काम में बहुत ज़्यादा सफरिंग होती है, तो हरि का नाम काम में ज़्यादा इजी हो जाता है, बिकॉज वी आर सो मच इन सफरिंग, तो उस टाइम पर वो याद करना और इजी होता है।
और इजी हो जाता है ना, इतना सफरिंग इतना मिल रहा है हमको हर रोज, इजी हो जाएगा, है ना? हाँ? Why there is lot of so much unhappiness, so much sorrow, misery, challenges post to living entities? Question was asked because that will help us to think of somebody who is supreme, somebody is totally blissful, somebody is worth depending. He is our greatest friend who never cheats us. He is our greatest lover who loves us without any lust and without any expectation. I can completely dependent on him. He never cheats me. Huh? What is that? Sloka? Ananya Chintayanto Mam. Yejana Paripasate Tesham Yukto Bhiktanam. What is that? Yogakshemam Hamya. I am going to retain whatever you have and whatever you lack, I am going to supply. Are Baba, ho gayi na, win-win. Depend on him. Whatever is there, I will retain. And whatever you lack, I will supply. Where is the loss here? 1 minute, one minute second of a surrender will change the direction. It will be a paradigm shift in our life. Hai na, Mataji? Any other questions? Any other comments? And they are all know about the Navavida Bhakti Marga and all. Subandha Prabhu, Bandhamadha Prabhu, Navavida Bhakti Marga. Is it? Okay. 6:20. How much time we have? 5 minutes. 5-10 minutes. Okay. Just to give some more thing, there may be some newcomers also. Let's not get scared with this example, but we should know that example also, because we should understand the problem first. Then there is a solution. Yes or no, Mataji? We should know the problem. And the solution given by Srila Prabhupada is this Navavida Bhakti Marga. How we can approach this person who is our greatest well-wisher, my friend, my lover. I can depend totally on him. What is the means through which I can reach him is Navavida Bhakti Marga. Bhakti we say, no? 9 processes of bhakti, starting with hearing, Shravana. Shravana, Kirtana, Smarana, Vandana, Pada Sevana, Dasyare, Pujana, Sakijana, Atma Nivedana. In all these 9, Ambarish Maharaj executed all 9 towards perfection. Srila Prabhupada says, no need to execute for us all 9. If you do at least one, Shravana, which we are all doing. Yes or no? We are hearing Srila Prabhupada's philosophy. That is why Prabhupada says, I wanted ISKCON to be established everywhere so that it gives an opportunity, chance for people to come, sit and hear. Shravana. Shravana is the first in the Navavida Bhakti Marga. Shravana, Kirtana. Kirtana means it can be chanting, it can be pravachan, it's something like that. Kirtana, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It's a Kirtana. Smarana, always think of the Lord. This answer to you, Mataji. Prahlad become like an expert in Smarana. He was put in a jail, completely locked, so much of difficulty given from his father. But still, he excelled in that art of Smarana, thinking about the Lord. So we should follow Prahlad. You beg Prahlad Maharaj, my dear Prahlad Maharaj, how I can, get the Smarana which you have mastered. PhD, he has a PhD, something like that, in that way. So how do I get that actually? You beg to Prahlad Maharaj. He will give you how to. Get that smarana. So these three are very primary. Hearing about the Lord, chanting His names, and also remembering constantly. Remembering constantly is very important. Okay? There are many other things. Prabhupada says, "Ye teen karo," all 9 will be covered eventually. Okay? Any other questions? Any other comments? Yes, Mataji.
पहला महाराज में महाजन हुए तो महाजन क्या होते हैं?
Oh, what is the question?
पहला
Prahlad. Okay.
जो महाजन हुए तो महाजन होते क्या?
Prahlad, you said as a Mahajana. ये महाजन होते क्या है? स्वयंभू नारदा शंभो कुमारा कपिलो मनु प्रहलाद जनको भीष्मो बलिर वैयासकी वयम. The 12 personalities. 12 personalities. It may be, what is that? Brahma, Lord Shiva, Yama, Kumara, Kapila, Manu, and Prahlad is also there. One among the 12. These 12 are said to be, I can say, the topmost personality is the actual knowers of the religion. They knew Dharma very well actually. Mahajanas means they knew Dharma very well. They are all something like, we say, encyclopedia, dictionary. It is something like that. The topmost personalities, they are the knowers of the religion. Among those 12, Prahlad is one. So we call them as great personalities, Mahajanas. Any other explanation we can give Bandhu Madhav Prabhu, Subandhu Prabhu for Mahajanas? Subandhu Prabhu. Okay. Yes. Yeah. They were so great, they are so perfectionist in spiritual science. It is advised for all of us to follow their footsteps. Mahajano yena gatasa pantaha. We have to follow their footsteps. That is what is recommended in the scriptures. So that means Prahlad comes as one among the 12. So we should follow him. Great personalities, knowers of the religion. Hope I am able to answer you, Mataji. Okay.
Brahmaji has also been referred as one of the Mahajanas.
Yes, yes.
But we have some, some stories in Bhagavatam wherein we can find out that Brahmaji crossing his limits. So why he has been considered as Mahajana? I mean, we are very small in front of him. But why he has been considered as Mahajana?
The question is, sometimes we hear some stories about, or maybe some pastimes about Brahmaji. Moral standards say, we think it is not up to the mark, but still, why is a Mahajana? What is the answer, Bandhu Madhav Prabhu?
says that such people can be distracted by Maya.
Beautiful. Even such personalities also sometimes can be bewildered. And they will come back, just because, like in that way, we can see from Lord Shiva also. Like we see Lord Shiva also taking, ganja, अरे बाबा क्या हो रहा है मैं भी कर सकता हूँ Yes, Madhumada Prabhu? Yes or no? Sometimes.
Lord Shiva's follower are taking ganja, not Lord Shiva.
We see, sometimes, yes. There is a, yes, there is. Sometimes it is done, but we are not supposed to follow. What Prabhupada tells is, he keeps poison also here, Kanta mein, Neel Kanta. So why can't we keep also? Why not Toda? So everything we cannot follow. And they say like that. But that's okay. He is a topmost personality, Mahadev, Harihar, Lingaraj, right? You have seen Lingaraj, Harihar. They are one topmost personality. Sometimes it looks like that. but it may be lessons for us. And some such jerks will be there. See, Lord Shiva also went behind a woman, Mohini, and there was a procreation. So he was wrong. He just associated with Lord Vishnu. Acha hai na? And he was very happy. I'm very happy I was seduced by a great personality, my Lord Vishnu. I'm very grateful. Lord Shiva says this after this. I'm very happy. Somebody who defeated me is my Lord. Arey, acha hai. Again, about Lord Brahma, it's a big story basically. There is nothing wrong actually in that. Because he is the creator. And one such creation is maybe the living entity with whom he ran. Let's not get into the details. I told you, that itself is a huge pastime. That can never be taken as wrong. No. Wonderfully, many acharyas from various sampradaya, they give very elaborate explanation towards that. Whatever you're asking, I can send you those. You can give me your details. I'll send those information to you. That may clear all your, if there are any bottlenecks. Okay? Okay. Last question or comments. We are almost 6:30. I don't want to cross that. Yes, Bandhu Mahaprabhu. Yes, very much.
You spoke about how difficult the material life is. You gave passages from the stories from scriptures. Not just the difficulties that we all have, often these days we have a lot of distractions. Difficulties is one side, yes, we all actually are suffering here, but we all have distractions which can actually make us forget this important teachings of the scriptures. Like example, like mobile phone that we have. We carry it all the way we have, and then you actually turn it on, that's good enough, you get a lot of distractions, pop-up, notification, all those things, we end up going everywhere. So, what should be the devotee stand? That how should a devotee use the smartphones, and how should a devotee manage himself with all these distractions?
Very good question. Who wants to answer this?
Just type in Google that how to avoid phone.
He's telling, use Google and type how to.
There will be a lot of suggestions.
A very simple suggestion. I would like to say what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said about, you are telling distraction from mobile. Arey, that is nothing. Distraction from a woman, distraction from a man, it can kill anybody. What Mahaprabhu says, don't dwell too much into such a distraction. At the first moment only keep it aside. As the first instance only, keep that thought process aside. That is the solution Mahaprabhu gives. Same thing holds good to this mobile also. Just keep it aside. Just keep that aside. Bas. If possible, switch it off. So many WhatsApp groups. Now I have started. Please excuse me. I want to reduce my WhatsApp time. And you're always dear to me. I'm a well-wisher, but I want to exit from this group. I have done it. I have started doing it. It's very disturbing, bro. Very disturbing. So we should keep it aside. Any other thing you want to say? Somebody else can give. I think I saw some Mataji raising the hand. Yes.
Notifications on notifications.
Huh?
Notifications.
Acha. Turn off notification. Any other answer to Bandhu Mahaprabhu's question?
Keep some fixed timing. This much time only I will take for that.
Baad mein, no. Okay. Keep some fixed time slots. Prabhu. Something like that.
Prabhuji knows all about this. Was a question for all of us actually.
Yes. Any other thing you can tell for the which Bandhu Mahaprabhu raised?
We should engage ourselves. We should keep ourselves busy, like in some service.
Sometimes, suppose when that's certainly it's good. We should keep ourselves busy so that not much focus is given to that. But still, when we are relaxing, what messages, we generally dwell into it. It's very, oh my God, not so easy. Yeah? It'll just grab us. So somehow we have to put some sort of a line, Bandhu Madhav Prabhu. We have to strictly keep ourselves with some time limit, as she told, and if you just keep that or throw that away, that's it. That's what I generally do. I just don't go near that. Or sometimes I switch off, something like that.
We have actually seen a generation where we didn't have a phone itself. Like first we had the telephone, then we come with
Pager was there,
pager or whatever. We have seen those generations and we have actually know how to manage it. But the upcoming generation, they are born with mobile phones these days. And they don't know how actually their next generation, their future will be like.
That's a beautiful question. That's a beautiful addition to the point. Again, I want to give what Srila Prabhupada has told. If you want to get into, taste very higher things, in order to give up the lower things, you have to taste the higher things, right? Young people, when they were kids, they were used to lollipops. And when they grow up, naturally they'll be used to gulab jamuns and rasgullas, kachoris, samosa. If you give lollipop, are papa kya de rahe? Tu hi kha lo. They are not. They don't like it because they have got a higher taste. Similarly, there can never be a higher taste or so blissful, apart from Hari Bhakti or Krishna Bhakti. As one of the devotees has told, involve basically ourselves in various activities of bhakti so that we should naturally get distaste for this activity. We can never force. If you force, jada ho jayega. No force. Proper involvement actually. Proper involvement. Why do you think most of you are spending Sunday evening here? You have some taste. Some taste here. Yes or no? Why do you think still you are Sunday evening you are here? You have some taste. So that other taste naturally gets avoided. As an answer to your question, Prabhu, it's a beautiful question. For today's generation, there is no escape. We have to somehow smartly engage in these activities. Navavida Bhakti Marga. Smartly need not be so formal. It can be something which suits children, which suits youngsters, which suits the grown-up people according to their age, time, circumstances. Thoda dosage we have to give. There is no shortcut means. We have to involve them somehow so that we can just keep this aside. Mobiles and other things. Fine? Okay? Thank you very much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for enlightening us and reminding us today that we are in the forest of this material world and we forgot our position. We forgot from where we have come. And you have given us you have reminded us by giving the story of Bhagavatam, by explaining about that Brahmana, like how he was trapped in the forest, and we are also trapped, and every time we are suffering, and all these sufferings we can get rid of it by controlling our senses and by following Bhakti Yoga, by taking shelter of the Lord. Thank you, Prabhuji. This is just a small summary, and we will thank Hare Krishna for Prabhuji for such a beautiful session. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
We will do this practically now by chanting one round of japa, and volunteers who can give japa minutes. Before starting japa, we just say this about the practical part of